The last place I wanted to be was Frostnipistan.
This one's wife. Only minor stars. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. This one's wife believes that she is a megastar. She believes this because her narcissism tells her that she is amazing, that she's wonderful, that she's adored. It is correct that she is a very well-known woman who is known in many places around the globe. Of course, much of the reason for why she is known is related to the fact that she married a prince. She isn't really known in her own right. Despite her narcissism telling her that she was famous because of Suits, most people had never heard of her because of that program. The only reason that she appeared on people's radar was because of who she married, and that's why she's known as this one's wife. It isn't that she has achieved fame as a consequence of making blockbuster films or creating a mega company that has brought products or services to the world which are beneficial. She hasn't climbed to the top of the political ladder and become a world leader or the head of a particular organization which has then created a prominence for her. She married a man and she piggybacked that relationship which enabled her to become well known. She doesn't have the talent that supports her being a huge star. She doesn't have the charisma or magnetism. And as a consequence of her behaviour, there's a lot of people that don't like her. Notwithstanding this, she still believes that she is a star. However, she has been labelled a minor star, which will naturally come as a particular dent to her view of herself. Daniela Elsa, writing for news.com.au, states, "It would have been quite the moment. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, and the world's most famous ginger schmoozing at an Emmys after-party thrown by mega agency WME while drinking a ginger margarita. Also on the menu, spicy tuna bites, whatever they might be, and schadenfreude, as the Duke and this one's wife, the Duchess of Sussex's entertainment careers, continue to nosedive. As the starry crowd that gathered on the rooftop of the Waldorf Astoria, notably absent, was WME's most titled client, the former Suits star turned royal. That party was held only days after the Hollywood Reporter published a bombshell story alleging that this one's wife was the Benito of bosses, offering an unsparing portrait and featuring a source close to the couple saying, "Everyone's terrified of this one's wife. She's just terrible." You don't need an advanced degree in Sussexology to interpret how bad this is for them. But now we have more, and floodgates seem to have been set to open, with more harsh reporting coming out about the Duke and Duchess. There's now a genuine dislike and distrust towards them by some. A senior producer has told the Daily Mail's Alison Boshoff, "I don't think mainstream Hollywood ever took them seriously." Well, pausing there, why would it? They haven't got any talent. She certainly hasn't got any charisma. Harry's seems to be in short supply these days. If you looked at them and thought, right, as a product, what have we got? Is there any writing ability here? No. Are they particularly charismatic, interesting individuals? No. They might have some value in respect of the story that has arisen, but unfortunately it's just turned into a point scoring and score settling and whinge-a-thon, which gets old very quickly. And the problem is that he isn't that interested in celebrity. She is obsessed with celebrity, but she hasn't got what it takes to be an A-lister, even though she believes that's where she should be. so that anybody with notable experience in this industry would look at them and think, we could do some things with them, but ultimately they're not going to be serious players. Elsa continues, from day one, Archewell felt to most industry onlookers more like a brand-building exercise than a genuine production operation. Part of the issue is their output, or lack thereof. Pausing there. Harry isn't particularly interested, and she's lazy. Driven by that narcissistic mindset, she believes that things should just happen because it's her. She believes that it should be gifted to her on a silver platter because if she's turned up, I can't believe I'm not being paid for this. She has that mindset whereby she doesn't need to roll her sleeves up and get in with some spade work. No, it should just be manifesting for her. The producer said even Harry and this one's wife naysayers would have been shocked at how little they've actually achieved. Well, certainly this commentator isn't shocked in the slightest, and I don't think so many of you are either. Added to which, one senior industry figure told the Mail, it's hard to find anyone with a good word to say for the Sussexes' film and television credibility. That's why, as the insider told the Mail, the duo is now facing schadenfreude with extra venom, which sounds like some heinous cocktail that requires dry ice and an unhealthy stout pour of Midori. We could maybe wave away the Mail's claims. After all, this one's wife successfully sued them over privacy claims in 2022. Except, this is a case of tip meeting iceberg. Like The Hollywood Reporter, Puck is a highly influential must-read site that covers Wall Street, Washington, Hollywood, and Silicon Valley, and they recently offered a damning judgment of the Sussexes, naming their megabucks Netflix deals as some of the losers of the era of peak TV. Puck has reported that the streamer is not expected to renew, noting that the Duke and Duchess having a polo and a cooking show in the pipeline, these offerings won't likely connect the way the royal couples, Harry and this one's wife, did. All of which sounds like it should be accompanied by a soundtrack consisting of a slow, sad slide of the trombone. Wah, 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 wah. If bad news comes in threes, then someone can't count, because after The Hollywood Reporter, after producers whispering to the Daily Mail, and after Puck's dire appraisal, comes another insider whispering some less than sweet nothings about this one's wife and what power brokers really think of her. For years, ever since Harry was forcibly taught the words to the Star-Spangled Banner back in 2020, there has been frothy speculation that the Duchess of Sussex might fancy dipping her toes into the political arena. Little surprise, then, that the last time the US went to the polls, the Sussexes filmed a Get Out the Vote video in which they all but wore Vote Biden t-shirts, and thus setting off a much red-faced indignation in London. This time around, with only 6 short weeks before America chooses between a charismatic, inspiring leader and a broiled ham of a diet autocrat, the Sussexes have all but gone missing this time around. Last week, the High Priestess of La La Land and Sussex intimate Oprah Winfrey threw a livestream event for Vice President Kamala Harris, which was watched by millions and millions of people, in which starred luminaries such as Meryl Streep, Julia Roberts, Ben Stiller, Chris Rock and Bryan Cranston. You would have thought that the Sussexes' inclusion would have been all but preordained, only they were not there. While the Telegraph has reported that the Harry and this one's wife shaped hole is a tactical choice on their part, and that they are deliberately staying out of the race for the White House, others have a less flattering take. As a Democratic strategist who is separately tapped into the Californian party machine and knows the state's Democratic governor, put it with all due respect to this one's wife, given the star power that we have in California, she's kind of in the minor ranks of them, to be honest. The Telegraph's chief reporter and deputy US editor wrote in the piece that there's the distinct possibility that the Democrats just don't want the Sussexes' support. The Duchess is a figure who is both loved and hated. In a tight election, Ms. Harris cannot afford to lose voters. However, unlikely that might be as a consequence of an endorsement from the Californian exiles. None of this can be how Harry and this one's wife foresaw their American careers way back the last time that the Tangerine Tyrant Light was running for the Oval Office. Genuine disliked, their star power having plummeted, such that they are now relegated to the minor ranks of Hollywood, and their Netflix deal with only months left on it, dumped on the loser pile. Nor have the Duke and Duchess of Sussex ever taken home any nice, shiny, glittering entertainment awards for their TV making. That is, unlike guests at their wedding and reportedly former friends David and Victoria's Beckham. The week before the trays of those ginger marks were circulating, the Netflix series about their lives took home the Best Doco Emmy. Thus, that's Daniela Elsa's take, clearly someone who doesn't like Trump, but putting that to one side, provides a summary of the various brickbats that have come the Sussexes' way, which results in them being labelled as minor stars. Once again, much of this criticism has come in the United States, not from the British media. And naturally, for a narcissist such as this one's wife to be described as a minor star, to be described as lacking star power, to be described as generally disliked, to be described as being poor with regard to output, all of that is something which is going to get under her skin, because naturally it doesn't accord with the view that she has of herself. And her narcissism would have resulted in the heated ignition of fury as she responded badly to this criticism after criticism after criticism. But it demonstrates the way that this downward spiral has started to speed up as more and more people have seen the behaviours. There's more and more evidence that has stacked up. As I keep on telling you, when it comes to a narcissist such as this one's wife, you don't need to try and go hunting for obscure theories as to what might be going on. You just give her enough rope and she'll hang herself. Keep it simple, keep it provable, and she will eventually bring about her own downfall. As I told you a long time ago, the person that is the most dangerous individual to this one's wife is herself. And as I predicted, it's coming to pass. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.